Instagram scams are on the rise, targeting a group you may not expect.
Karen, I hear you have a story about Instagram scams.
Yeah, it's actually, this is an article, and I kind of no surprise, I guess, but that there's a lot of people that are targeting users of Instagram in a variety of scams. And as I was thinking about this, especially in terms of, a lot of the young people today, as they've become they're so involved in Instagram, they're not necessarily thinking about all of these things as they kind of share. And these are people who obviously are moving on into business, who hopefully we hope that their habits will get better as they use some more business type of do more things in a normal business activity. But there were quite a few examples. Obviously, there's phishing schemes that are out there on Instagram. No surprise that people are trying to get some information from you, targeting to get more personal information and get your credit card information. But there were some interesting ones that actually there's a lot of people who try to make some influencer status so that they're always looking for more users, and that actually there have been fake influencer sponsors that have been out there. So somebody might suggest that they would be paid by a brand. They just need their banking information. So that give me your banking information and I'll put money into your account, but they're fake sponsors, which I thought was kind of interesting that this was starting to happen. And then other ones that they were talking about were ones, where people are making friends and then asking for money, which was, kind of things that we hear about overall on the internet. A lot of that targeting, we always hear this targeting maybe elders, but this is now starting to pivot more towards younger people, I guess, who are more active Instagram users, asking them for loans, and even investment schemes that are out there that they might say, if you, give us some money and get rich quick, and we'll get you some cash, but you have to buy something. So it just seems that there's a lot of these types of scams that are out there. Also ones associated with jobs. So, as people might be making contacts and trying to get a job offer or getting information, and people are stealing a lot of their information, again, through these Instagram posts. So the article was really talking about what you need to do to protect yourself, which I think are pretty common, obviously, using proper passwords. But one of the things that they suggested, which I thought was a little bit amusing, was don't overshare, which, social media is all about sharing. And but obviously trying to make sure that you're not sharing too many personal details of yourself makes you a more, it'll be easier to target you. Obviously, you don't want to do anything associated with, clicking on links that look suspicious. And obviously, there are some settings that you can use on Instagram to make some of your information more private. But overall, I was surprised at how much of this has permeated Instagram, which to me didn't seem like a place where there would be a whole lot of great targets, but it's a lot bigger than it used to be. So,
especially like the influencer thing, I've seen some other stories about this type of thing as well. And it does surprise me how many, 20-year-old kids out there are getting paid a lot of money to be, to advertise a brand. They know that these people, that the larger brands know that these people have maybe hundreds of thousands or millions of viewers. So they'll, have a bag of Doritos and they'll say, hey, I love Doritos. And they get paid for that. So you could see how a lot of young people that see other people's success in this type of area are, as soon as they get like a phishing email that says, hey, we're some large brand and we'd like to advertise with you on your Instagram or your TikTok, that they could kind of get easily like, this is my big moment, like this is, and they get kind of swept into it. So it is, I think your story is important as a cautionary tale that people should be very wary, especially when it comes to either your personal information or money is involved in anything you do in any of these social media platforms. I'd be very careful about jumping in without, making sure that, everything's above board that you're seeing.
An environment like social media where everyone's, going off of a persona that they have, there's a level of trust there as well. And I think, obviously, historically, even before technology, all these sort of scams rely on gaining your trust and then exploiting that. And it's just a new variation of the same old scams.
Absolutely, but I think what John was talking about is really the trick here is that people really are getting paid, and I have some young kids who actually believe this totally, that they will be able to get paid by showing shoes or whatever if they just get enough people,
enough followers, right?
Who are interested in them. And there's certainly people who we know and you've seen that have been successful exploiting that. So the idea that that a brand, a smaller brand, let's say, might reach out to you because you're now doing something that's kind of niche that's related to them, and they could target that, right, because they've seen what you do. Maybe you're into, I don't know, some niche sport, like you're into, I don't know, curling or something, and so somebody targets something that relates to that, and it seems plausible.
Right.
And so, again, it just is a kind of an interesting, that I don't know that, we tend to think of this, I think, as more people focusing on grandparents, right, who were maybe less sophisticated digitally, and they might have more money, but they're obviously they're now targeting a much younger demographic who, at least has some money that they're going to part with, that this seems to be happening more often. So I thought it was just interesting of how they're going after this, and I guess as being a parent, it kind of hit home for me.
All right, no, it's a good story, and definitely, like you said, a different target audience than we would normally expect to see. Usually more younger people targeted in these types of social media platforms than the types of other phishing schemes that we've seen.